What is up? Welcome to the dungeon. I'm going to be doing your weekly tarot readings for all the Zodiac signs this week. Well, the weekly. This upcoming week. Keep in mind these readings are general and they may not resonate with everybody. So what I'll be doing is I'll be pulling one card for the overall energy of the week, and then I'll pull another card for the overall energy of your love life. Typically everybody wants to know about love, but not everybody has love in their life. So I like to go over both. That being said, let's go ahead and hop into it, shall we? Let's go ahead and start it out. Coming out hot with Aries. Let's see what's going on with Aries over the next week. What kind of energy will Aries encounter over the next week? What's going on with Aries? Ace of Pentacles. So you may be given a new opportunity. You might have a chance to do something, start something new that really has a potential for bringing you abundance in the future, or sorry, guys, in the long-term future. Some of you may be starting a class. You may be thinking about going back to school. Although some of you who may be looking for these opportunities, you could be having a harder time finding them than others. But yes, you will definitely benefit by taking a class somewhere, not just for education, but also entertainment, like take a painting class or something. Either way, furthering your education or your wisdom is going to be a highlight of this week. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Aries. What is going on in Aries' love life over the next week? What kind of energy will Aries encounter? All right, Aries, for your love life, we have the Ten of Wands. So with the Ten of Wands, there are some things that are really, really bothering you. They don't necessarily have to be bad things that are bothering you. They could be good things that you are thinking about like crazy. Either way, it's very heavy on your mind. Very, very heavy on your mind. It's one of the only things you can think about. That's very overwhelming. Perhaps it's just a relationship, a person in general. Perhaps it's an issue in a relationship. Either way, there is something that is definitely weighing you down in your love life. And so even though you may feel somewhat helpless in your love life right now, like you can't do anything, that's why it's bothering you so much. But you can do something about what's going on in your general life. And what you would benefit by doing this week is furthering your education in some way, shape, or form. You don't have to go to school to do that. You can do research online. Okay? All right. So let's move on. What is up? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. Let's see what's going on with Taurus. What is going on with Taurus over the next week? What kind of energy will Taurus encounter over the next week? Taurus, you have the Page of Wands. So here with the Page of Wands, you may be doing a lot of communicating with other people, possibly excitedly. You may be really, really excited about the things that you were talking about right now. You could be extremely flirty. This isn't your love life, but just throwing that out there. I mean, this is your general energy, but it can influence your love life. So you may be feeling very, very flirty, very talkative. You have a lot of new ideas that you want to share. But some of you don't want to open up right away. You don't want to share right away, but you are on the precipice of it. You're thinking about it, rather. But for some reason, you're like holding yourself back from like going all the way through with what's going on here. Okay, let's see what's going on in your love life, Taurus. What is going on in Taurus's love life over the next week? What kind of energy will Taurus encounter in their love life over the next week? Okay, Taurus, you have the Five of Wands. So with the Five of Wands in your love life, you may be feeling as if you are having to compete with multiple people for the attention of your partner. Maybe you might even be a little paranoid that your partner is stepping out on you. You could be dealing with a lot of conflict with your partner, perhaps arguing a lot, and maybe not really knowing how you feel about the relationship moving forward. So just kind of trying to figure that out. There may even be some conversations involved, but if there is this conflict energy here, it definitely would be beneficial to kind of work through the intensity of that before the conversation is had. If emotions are too high, it will definitely inevitably lead to a bigger disagreement. So you want to make sure that you're coming from a place of calm and reserve, because more than likely there will be disagreements. It's just a matter of whether or not you I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Oh, it's just a matter of how you work through things, how you work things out, how you talk through things. That's what's really important. Having conflict, it's not that big of a deal, depending on what that conflict is. But for the most part, it's not a big deal. You got two different people with two different personalities that are coming together. Not everybody's going to be on the same page 100% of the time, but it's how you deal with it. It's how you handle it that counts, and that makes or breaks you. So definitely be careful if you're dealing with some difficult feelings, difficult emotions in a relationship. Definitely be careful not to approach this conversation with fire in your heart, if you will. Just make sure that the gas is down a little bit. Not down a little. Make sure it's down, because things could potentially get explosive. So thank you. Thanks for showing up, Andrea, showing love. Good vibes to you as well. Let's see what's going on with my Geminis. You guys, if I don't respond right away, please don't take it personally. I gotta focus on the cards when I'm reading them, otherwise I get distracted. Okay, I have brain farts all the time anyways, so. All right, let's see what's going on in Gemini's world over the next week. What's going on with Gemini over the next week? What kind of energy will Gemini encounter? What's going on with Gemini? Gemini, you have the Six of Pentacles. So with the Six of Pentacles, you're in a situation where you need to be certain that you're not putting in more care, love, and attention and energy and effort into something than the other people that are involved in this situation. There is a danger of being taken advantage of if this is something that you do. There is a danger of you carrying all the work, basically, and then just riding the waves of your success and your hard work. So definitely be careful about that. Make sure that you're not carrying other people's weight. Make sure that things are delegated properly, because otherwise you'll probably end up exploding. Like, you may be cool for a while, but then you'll randomly explode and people will be like, dude, what's your problem? You'll be like, oh, I've been dealing with all this crazy shit for this long and you want to ask me what my problem is? Like, it'll explode and go crazy. Go crazy. So just make sure everybody's doing their part, nobody's carrying too much weight, and yes. So also you may have to, you may be giving or receiving a loan or paying one back of some sort. Somebody may be trying to help you out in return for an IOU. So they may be like, okay, yeah, you got this. I'll help you out with this. Just help me out later with something else, you know? And so you may make that arrangement with somebody this week. All right, let's see what is going on in your love life. What's going on in Gemini's love life over the next week? What kind of energy is going on in Gemini's love life over the next week? What is up with Gemini? What's going on in Gemini's love life? Gemini, you have the King of Cups. So I think that you are going to be pretty heavily influenced by your emotions this week in regards to your love life. Now, what I mean by that is, because emotions are involved in love, hello. But what I mean by that is the depth of feeling that you will be experiencing. It's going to be so intense, it could potentially even be unbearable. This could be unbearable for you. And so some of you may be trying to, like, well, drown your sorrows. If there's been a breakup, drown your sorrows. And even if there hasn't been a breakup, you may be trying to distract yourself, you may be, drinking or doing other things to kind of numb yourself, numb your emotions so you don't feel as intensely. So it's like you don't necessarily have to be dealing with a breakup or whatever, or even be in a relationship. This could be somebody that you have a deep love and desire for, and for some reason you feel like you can't express it or whatever, and so you're trying to stifle it. Yeah, so you're probably going to be trying to get control of your emotions. And some of you have the danger, there is the danger of you overindulging. So be careful not to do that. Again, as a result, to just kind of distract you from the way you feel. You don't want to feel this way. Especially if you feel like the other person, like if you feel like the emotions are unreciprocated. You really don't want to feel this way. And you really don't want to feel this way. But it's your emotions that are involved. It's not just a physical thing. It's your emotions that are involved. So it's not just, okay, moving on. Those aren't just going to go away overnight. Those emotions aren't just going to go away overnight. As much as you wish they would, they're not going to. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to curse you. I'm not trying to curse you. I'm just being real. It's what I'm saying, so I'm saying it. Okay. But you know, not all of you are going to be drowning your sorrow. Some of you are going to be going out and having a good time with someone that you are in a committed relationship where there is an equal exchange of give and take. So yeah, some of you lucky ones may have that experience of this energy. All right, let's see what we have going on over here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, what this says, do it. Do it. All right. We are moving on to Cancer. Let's see what's going on with Cancer this week. What kind of energy will Cancer encounter over the next week? What is going on with Cancer? Interesting. Cancer, it looks like you have the same energy that, was it Aries or Taurus? Okay, I don't know. Somebody at the beginning had this energy to the Page of Wands. You know, basically very, very high energy. You have a lot of ideas. You want to talk to people about these ideas. You may be actually very talkative. Perhaps you've been in a hermit mode for a while. You know how Cancer, you're the little hermit crab. You go hermit for a while or quite often, and so maybe you have been in a hermit mode, but now you're coming out. You are coming out. You want to go out and have a good time. You want things to be lighthearted and fun. Because part of the reason you've been holed up is because things have not been so lighthearted and fun. And you're tired of it. You're tired of sitting there, feeling like crap, doing nothing. So you want to get out and do something so you don't even feel like crap. Because you're too busy doing something. You can't feel those funky feelings because you're enjoying the moment. So I think that over the next week, it's really going to be about like being present in the moment and taking time to appreciate all those little things. There could be some petty quarrels that go on. If there are people that like you just don't communicate well with in general, some people just don't understand each other. Some people just don't understand each other. And so there could be some petty arguments that come as a result of misunderstandings when you're trying to communicate with somebody. So definitely be wary of that and try not to take those things too personally. Try not to let it get you too ramped up, too amped up, or in a bad mood. Don't make it go back. Don't allow it to make you go back in your shell. You know, work through this. Because you just came out of that show, you know. Let's see what's going on in Cancer's love life. What is going on in Cancer's love life over the next week? What kind of energy is going on in Cancer's love life over the next week? Okay, so we have Five of Pentacles. So some of you guys are going to be feeling rejected. You are going to be feeling like you have to walk away from a situation that you don't really want to walk away from. And you're feeling left out. Like for some reason you can't be with the person that you want to be with. You know, be it distance or just them not even knowing you want to be with them. You feel like you can't be with the person you want to be with. And you may be afraid to have a conversation about things because you fear the rejection. Some of you are just kind of like in a woe is me mood where you're like, Nobody ever loves me. I never have any relationships. Wah, wah, wah. You may be having one of those moments. It's okay. It happens. Just don't let yourself stay there. Don't wallow. Don't let yourself stay there. You're having a moment. Okay, you're allowed to have a moment. You're allowed to feel a certain way. Okay? You need to let yourself feel that way. But don't stay there. You need to let yourself feel that way so you recognize that you feel it. But don't stay in that energy. Don't stay in that energy. Transmute it. If anything, change it. Change the energy into something more productive, more conducive to what's going on in your life. Because right now, your hands are tied. There is nothing you can do in this situation. Whether you have a partner or not, you can't change the way you feel. You can't change that you feel like you're on the outside looking in, that you do not have what other people are having. You're seeing it. It's all around you, you know? And maybe maybe you feel like when you try to have a connection with somebody, you just are misunderstood a lot. So, it could be a rough week. You could be dealing with some difficult emotions, but at the same time, I think that the optimism that the Page of Wands brings in to this energy it's gonna help you get through the funky feelings. You're gonna be feeling some funky feelings. Well, I'm gonna be real. I see it. It sucks, but I see it. I gotta tell you, that's what you're here for. Um, but I think you're also going to be able to get through it. I think you're going to find ways to distract yourself and try to make light of life. Try to still enjoy life and maybe hold this woe is me energy close to your chest so people don't know that that's where you're at right now. Okay. See what's going on with my Leos. What is going on with Leo over the next week? What energy will Leo encounter? Leo, you have the Four of Wands. So you're gonna be extremely focused on your home, your family, stability, any important commitments that you have in your life. This is gonna be a priority to you this week. Um, it's time to make sure you got it together, and you know I really don't want to say it, but I see it, and it's a possibility. So I gotta throw it out there. Um, some of you will be moving, and some of it's by choice. Some of it's not by choice. I don't know what else to say other than that. Some of you may be having to find a place to stay. Hopefully, your family and or friends will help you out. If not, there are shelters. Unless you're that person that likes to go camping, then get you a tent and go to a campground. Um, I really hope that people don't have to deal with that though, because that's just that I have to throw it out there. Um, So if it seems like you're having issues with your living situation, you're definitely going to be really focused on getting that figured out and stabilized over the next week. Maybe you are going to move. Well, I just said that you're going to have to move. So you got to make those plans, be it to like find a place to stay, or just plan out each stage of the process of moving from one home to the next. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Leo. What is going on in Leo's love life? Leo, you have the Eight of Swords here. So in your love life, you kind of feel like your hands are tied. There's really not a lot you can do right now. I think there's something that is building up, something that is going to happen, or something, excuse me, that you're trying to bring into reality. But with the way things are in the moment, excuse me, it's just not happening right now. There's really not a lot you can do to change the situation right now, and that's rather frustrating. So you could be dealing with the frustration of helplessness, of feeling helpless in your relationship, in your situation, to do anything about your relationship, to do anything to help your partner feel better, like or to make yourself feel better about your love life. You feel very, very stuck and that you're not making any progress, and that could be very frustrating for you. But I think for the most part, you're going to try not to focus on that frustration because you know that there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do that sucks. It's frustrating. But you know that it sucks and it's frustrating and that you can't do anything about it sucking and being frustrating. So just like, try to enjoy the positive things you got going on. Some of you may not be feeling like you have very many positive things going on. They're there, you're just not seeing them because you're caught up in the darkness, you're caught up in all the negativity, the bad stuff that's happening. Perhaps the negativity is outweighing the positivity in your life right now. Again, do not fall into that trap. Don't fall into the trap of consistent negative thinking. We all have our moments, we all have our times, but don't let yourself stay there. Don't allow yourself to stay there. Don't allow yourself to stay there. It's not even about like make yourself move. Don't allow yourself to stay in that energy. It's your choice. It's your choice to redirect your emotions and your feelings and your vibes. Okay, let's move on to Virgo. Let's see what's going on with Virgo over the next week. What kind of energy will Virgo encounter? What's going on with Virgo over the next week? What kind of energy will my Virgos encounter? Mm-hmm. Okay, Virgo, we have the King of Swords. So, you are being very methodical and very analytical this week. There's a lot of things that you are trying to be extremely straightforward about. You're not trying to get caught up in the bullshit and the mess, the fluff. You want to see the truth of the matter. You want to see the meat and potatoes. You want to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay? And you feel like this is something that only you can do. Other people can tell you this, that, and the other about what's going on, but when it comes down to filtering that information, that's on you. So you're going to be working on filtering the information that you are receiving or have received. Um, you're going to be kind of detached from your emotions. They're not going to be a priority anyway. If in any way they do become a priority, it's because you are trying to figure them out and get them in order. Um, you're trying to figure out exactly how you feel and what you're going to do about it. You may be perceived as docile and not really doing much or having much going on, but like under the right circumstances, things get crunk real fast. Under the right circumstances, you will, or they will see the true magnitude of the strength that you do not show, because you have a lot of strength of character, but you're also very headstrong. You have an attitude, but the thing about this attitude that you have is it's not fiery in your face, it's cold and cutting, and sometimes that can be worse because there's a portrayal of a lack of emotion. At least when things are fiery and crazy, there's emotion fueling it. When it's cold and cutting, you may be that way to some people. You may be pulling the cold cut on a lot of people. The cold cut, making a sandwich, making a sandwich of a lot of people. But again, you're just trying to get your life in order. You don't have any room for the bullshit. You're cutting the fat out. Guys. I'm so sorry. I have to take a break. This sucks. All right, sorry about that, you guys. That was unavoidable. Unavoidable. So I appreciate the patience of everyone who plays back because nobody waited. It's okay. All right, let's see what's going on in Virgo's love life. What is going on with Virgo in their love life over the next week? What's going on in Virgo's love life? Virgo, you have the Knight of Wands. So you may be in a situation where you are open to a quick fling. Nothing serious at all. You're just looking to have a good time. Some of you may be going back and forth with a partner. Perhaps one minute you guys are good, the next you're not. And it's just back and forth. It just changes super fast. Like, I don't know, like mood swing type thing. One moment you're here, the next you're in a completely different place. And this could create conflict. The conflict is part of that. What am I talking about? But in other situations, this is very, very passionate energy here. So you're definitely going to have a drive for passion, a drive to seek out physical companionship. I don't know if you care too much about emotional aspects of things right now. It's not your priority. You may decide to take some sort of sudden action in regards to your love life. Doing what? I don't know. You making a move. You may be making a move. Going on a road trip. Just if there has been a pending action or something going on, something that has been up in the air in regards to a decision to be made in regards to your love life, it's finally going to come down the air. You're going to figure it out. It's going to happen very quickly and unexpectedly. So something's going to happen quickly and unexpectedly in your love life. Let's move on to Libra. Let's see what's going on with my Libras. What is up with Libra over the next week? What kind of energy will Libra encounter over the next week? What is going on with my Libras? What kind of energy is Libra encountering? Let's see what we have going on with my Libras. Libra, you have the moon. So with the moon, there are some things that you may be confused about. And until you have more clarity, you're going to kind of keep your cards close to your chest. It's very important here not to listen as much to your reason as your intuition, for your intuition is attempting to speak to you. You just have to be open to hearing and receiving the message. Yeah, let's see what's going on in your love life. Sorry, that was super quick, but it seemed like the universe is speaking to you. You just got to receive it. That's what you're here for, right? That's why I'm here. Come on, give me the message. A message to you is listen to your intuition, not your reason. Listen to the way you feel about things, not the way you think. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life, Libra. Okay, Libra. Oh, looky here, we have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is also about being a little confused. Not entirely sure what you're gonna do. You may have multiple options here. You're not really sure which choice you're gonna make. Multiple options in regards to your love life, or multiple options in regards to things. Multiple options in regards to things that have been unfolding in your love life. There we go. And you're just not really sure what to do. You may be trying to juggle multiple partners and trying being very secretive. Perhaps you're the one that's holding the secrets, and you're the one that's not telling people something. You're the one keeping people on confusion. Perhaps it's not with everybody. With other people, you're experiencing that from the people around you. That the energy is the same, whether you are giving it or receiving it. So you may be trying to get some clarity about, what it is you're going to do about your love life. Again, I'd say think about how you feel and not how you think. Sometimes we let reason get in the way of love. We reason our way out of something. We think we know it's one way, and then you find out later it's not, that it's another way. And because you thought it was that one way, completely missed out on something beautiful. Okay. Let's move on to Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio? What kind of energy will Scorpio encounter over the next week? What is going on with my Scorpios? What's going on with Scorpio over the next week? What kind of energy will Scorpio encounter? Scorpio, you have the Page of Pentacles, so you may be doing a lot of reading. You may be taking some courses or signing up for some courses. This is the beginning. This is only the beginning of whatever it is you're doing. But you are nurturing aspects of yourself that you want to grow. You want to improve them. So say if you already had budding skills in one area, you may be taking classes or watching videos, getting tips on how to improve these skills. You may be having to deal with a lot of not bane, that's not the right word. Just some very boring conversations. Some of you may be on the phone a lot, or just not necessarily on the phone. You could be, on the phone a lot, be it a call or a text. You may be doing a lot of communicating, but it's not necessarily you're talking to friends and family. It's necessary to whatever you're doing. You got to talk to a lot of more people than usual. That's fine. If it's going to bring you, if you're going to improve yourself, you're about it. You're about that life. You're open to learning. Let's see what's going on in your love life. Starting new things. That was still for your general energy, starting new things. But let's see what's going on in your love life. What's going on in Scorpio's love life? Scorpio, you have the Hermit. So oh, interesting. You're going to be withdrawing from your partner. If you are not already withdrawn, you're just kind of going within, focusing on yourself and your emotions, trying to figure out exactly how you feel. Maybe you're working through issues from the past. Maybe you're uncertain about how you feel about what's going on in the present. Either way, you feel like you need to take time to yourself and think about this, because it's not it's not a decision that other people can make for you. And some of you may be actually coming out of this period, this hermit period, after dealing with what I just described. You may be finally coming out of this period and slowly beginning to wanting to communicate with other people again. I think this is, that's it, you guys. There's not much more to be read there. There's not much more to be read there. Thank you, Cowboy. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Sagittarius. What is going on with Sagittarius over next week? We have the Page of Wands. I feel like there's been a lot of pages tonight. So a lot of communication. It's interesting because I'm also seeing no communication as well. So, but yes, so we have communication here with the Page of Wands. You may be dealing with a lot of people. Very lighthearted communication for the most part, but if it does turn sideways, it will get petty and immature. Try not to stoop to that level. Try to let it be them that stoops there, and try to come at it with more mature with a mixture of petty and mature. From a more mature, I did it again. A more mature perspective. But just in general, you may be seeming like you are more lighthearted and just in a great mood around, I would just say your friends, but everybody. Sagittarians are friendly with everybody. And perhaps you haven't been as friendly lately. Maybe you haven't, because Sagittarians can also be like, they got a temper. It's, oh my goodness. Some of you will be experiencing the lighter side of Sagittarius, the more fun, playful side, and others of you won't. Others of you will be experiencing the very difficult, very angry rage that Sagittarius can carry. In the depth of petty is almost unparalleled. I said almost, but we got Gemini and Scorpio, and they're pretty petty. Virgo's pretty petty too, so it's not just Sagittarius. We just got these dudes, man. We just got these dudes. So yeah, lots of energy behind your communication. Whether or not that energy is positive or negative, depends on the situation you're dealing with. Now, let's see what's going on in your love life, Sagittarius. What is going on in the Sagittarian's love life? Alright, so I feel like this reading, like this week, isn't very couple focused. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. So the Nine of Pentacles represents strength and independence, kind of a knowing of thyself. So you're going to be really making a break for freedom. If somebody has been trying to control you, one, it hasn't gone well, and two, it's building up to where it's about to explode. You are not one to be controlled. And maybe you have been giving in because of this person's position in your life, but one can only take so much, and you're about to lose your fucking mind. So you are reasserting your independence in the relationship. What do I mean by that? Well, you are leaving. You may not necessarily be leaving the relationship, but you're taking space for yourself. You are trying to do things for yourself, by yourself, without this other person with you. Trying to shake them. You need a break. I feel like that's kind of where you are. Some of you you're like, I need a break. I don't want to break up, but I need a break because this is intense, you know. I need some time to myself. And some of you, you know, you'll be straight up. If you're not single already, you know, you will be single. You will be embracing your independence and going out and having a good time celebrating it. Yeah, I really feel like you are going to be celebrating whether or not you are dating somebody. Like, or whether or not you have broken up with somebody. If you're single, I think you're going to be celebrating your singlehood, whether or not you just broke up with somebody or you've been single. So you're going to be going out, having a good time, super flirty, you know, just fun times. Good times for Sagittarius this week, for sure. It's looking that way. It's looking that way. There may be some difficulties that send you in the direction of these fun times, but it looks like the fun times are inevitable. Okay. Let's see what's going on with my Capricorn. What's going on with Capricorn over the next week? What kind of energy will Capricorn have? What's going on with Capricorn over the next week? Capricorn, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So, with the Ace of Pentacles, you may be taking this period of your life, maybe taking the time now to further your education. And this doesn't necessarily mean going to college. You could be doing some courses online, or, you know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be doing a course. You could just be doing some really in-depth research about something. And thus you're learning about it. You're educating yourself. You're going to come to things with a better understanding of the situation than you had before. And thus you are going to be able to, I feel like you're going to be able to use it as a springboard to go in a direction that you want to go, or do something that it is that you want to do. Some of you may be having difficulty making this happen. This could be something that you're wanting to happen. Perhaps you're trying to get back into school and whatnot, but maybe you waited too long to apply to colleges and everything. So just kind of trying to find other means to make it happen. So even if there are obstacles in the way of you furthering your education, you're still going to find ways that'll make it happen. Now, you're not necessarily going to be in that mindset as this stuff is happening. you could be trying to do a certain thing and then it keeps falling apart and you're frustrated and get pissed off and like negative and stuff like that, which is understandable. It's so understandable. But you don't have to take a course. You can do research online. But just be sure you use multiple sources and compare them, because there's a lot of fake stuff out there. And it can be hard to tell the difference. It was like that before the internet, even more so now. So just be sure you do your due diligence. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life, Capricorn. What is going on in Capricorn's love life? What is going on in Capricorn's love life over the next week? Capricorn, you have the Ten of Pentacles here. So I think that you are coming to a deeper level of commitment with your partner. If you are just dating, you haven't already, if you're not already at that level, some of you may already be at that level and you're just in a really good place, very happy, stable, etc., etc. The give and receive is equal. You're just doing good all around. Some of you already have this. Some of you are working towards this or have been working towards this and are finally here after working for a really long time to get here. So I feel like your relationship is a priority to you right now. And I feel like you're trying to lay the groundwork, lay the foundation. You want to bring stability to your home. And you want to bring stability to your partner. You want to be able to provide for your partner, just build a life together. And so that's something that you're really going to be focused on and thinking about. If you're single, you may be sitting here deciding that maybe that is a life that you want. Maybe you want to have a family, and perhaps that's something you never considered before, but maybe now you're at a point where either you're ready or you're deciding maybe I want to one day. But I feel like with a lot of you, there is going to be a deepening of commitments here. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. What is going on with my Aquarians over the next week? What kind of energy will Aquarius encounter over the next week? What is going on with Aquarius? Okay, Aquarius, we have the Eight of Pentacles, so you're going to be very focused on working, creating, building. I could give you a bunch of different scenarios, but I think those are pretty direct. With working, creating, building, all three of those things can be applied to many, many different scenarios. Life, job, relationship, family, art project, whatever it is in your life, you're going to be putting a lot of energy and effort into it. There will be some of you who are looking for work that do have trouble finding it, though, but this could be something that you're focusing on. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Aquarius. What is going on there? What's going on in your love life? Aquarius, you have the Nine of Swords. So you're having some hard times in regards to your love life, feeling very anxious, very insecure. Whether you're single or in a committed relationship, you're feeling very insecure, have a lot of anxiety. If you're in a relationship or seeing somebody, you're having a hard time sleeping at night because it's just this stuff is all the possible scenarios are constantly going through your mind. If you're single, you just feel insecure about having a relationship in general. It just seems a lot more, right now, it just seems like it's a lot more stress and headache than it's worth. At least that's how you feel in this moment. There could be some very difficult conversations that need to be had between you and your partner or potential partner. If it's a potential partner, you guys got to clear up where you really are. And it's going to take a difficult conversation. And you may not like what you hear. But this could also be a situation where it turns into addressing a major issue. Because this is something, typically it's something that's really, really getting to you. And if you finally decide to have a conversation with somebody about it, it's looking like there are good chances that you will be able to come to a mutual understanding. So don't get too negative about your love life, okay? Just because we have this insecure, anxious-ridden energy. Don't get too negative about it, because sometimes this nervous energy can improve a relationship if it's harnessed in the proper way. And how is that harnessed in the proper way? By communicating it to your partner in a healthy way, and by them allowing you to feel reassured in a healthy way. Nobody should have to sacrifice themselves for the other, or compromise. There we go. Compromise themselves for the other. You know, sacrifices happen for the people we love, but compromising your integrity is a different thing. You don't want to have to compromise your integrity for the person you love. If that is something that you feel like is a requirement of your relationship, it's probably not the best relationship to be in, because it's not true to who you are, and it's going to tear who you really are down, and it's going to get to a point in your life where you don't even know who you are anymore. And we don't want that to happen. So let's figure it out now, right? Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Even if things fall apart as a result of this conversation, at least you figured it out now. All right. Moving on to my patient Pisces. Let's see what you guys have going on. What is up with Pisces over the next week? What kind of energy will Pisces encounter? Over the next week, what's going on with Pisces? Pisces, you have the Page of Swords. So I think you're going to be doing as little interacting as possible this week. You're only going to do what's necessary of you. Everything else, no. I feel like you usually take on a lot of extra stuff, but right now you're taking a step back and you're watching other people do it. And this needs to happen, because you're always the one. And you're always the one with other people stepping back, like sipping on a martini, watching you do everything. It's your turn to step back. I mean, as it is, you're not even drinking a martini. You know, they still got it better. At least that's how you feel sometimes. Feel very taken advantage of sometimes. And so you're taking a step back and kind of watching to see what happens. Watching and waiting to see what happens. Maybe doing research. Lots of studying energy going on this week with people. So it's a good time to learn. Definitely a good time to learn in the ethers. You could be like keeping an eye on people. I don't want to say stalking, um, because people put themselves on the internet and public platforms so they can be seen. So people come and see your page, you know. But you may be watching certain people's pages a little bit more than usual. You know, you're observing other people's actions more than usual, more than you're interacting this week. You want to kind of see what's going on before you join the party, before you join the gang. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Pisces. What's going on in Pisces' love life over the next week? Okay, you have the Eight of Wands. So there could be a lot of communication going on between you and your partner, or potential. Things are moving forward. Um, there is communication that occurs that moves things in a forward direction. Even if that forward direction is to the end, I'm not sure that's the case, but in some cases it will be. I think those of you who are single, maybe going out and meeting people, talking to people, having a good time, trying to date, but at the same time, this page of swords energy still stands to where you're kind of observing more than you're giving to the situation. Perhaps in the past you would be more talkative, but now you're trying to listen more, stuff like that. You're being more reserved and giving other people more space to allow themselves to be seen and to show themselves. Because sometimes when you get to talking so much, you forget that the other person isn't talking back to you, and you trust them, and that's they're it's not the reason they're not talking back to you. They're just not responding to you, um, and if that's the situation, things won't move forward. If you've been dealing with some heartbreak for a long time, you're ready to move on. You're finally ready to move on. So awesome. Congratulations. Those are your readings for the month. Not the month, the week. For the week. I hope they resonate for accuracy purposes. Because I really don't want bad things to happen to people, but life is life. And I'll see you guys again next week, maybe. Possibly. Undoubtedly. Okay, maybe doubtedly.